Hey guys, what's going on? It's your boy, the Mad Tiger, and up here today with another video game update, news update, I guess we can say. And look, a couple weeks ago, I did a video called PlayStation 5 Backwards Compatibility, What Can We Expect? Now, a couple days ago, Sony did their reveal of the PlayStation 5 specifications, and I'm going to be completely honest with you, it's all Greek to me. I don't know what half of these specifications mean. Teraflops, GBH, I don't care about any of that. What I care about, instead of all the fucking specification, is the games. Now, before I talk about PlayStation, I just want to mention that the Xbox Series X has been confirmed that it's going to have backwards compatibility. Now, what that means is it is going to have backwards compatibility with all of the Xbox One games, which is great. Now, in terms of digital games, I think how that's going to work is going to basically be working on a. I'm really hoping that Xbox Series X does work on the similar thing to the Xbox One, where when you sign in with your profile, all your games will be there ready to install. I can imagine that's how it's going to work. We have been told that if you have a hard drive device, I do have one, but it don't work very well, so I'm not using it. But if you do have games installed on your hard drive, an external hard drive, you'll be able to plug that in to your Series X, and all your games will be ready to play. I think that's how that's going to work. We also know that it is going to have backwards compatibility with Xbox 360 and original Xbox. However, I don't know if that means every single Xbox 360 game, every single original Xbox game, or if it's just going to be the same list that the Xbox One has. I reckon it's going to be a very similar list, and possibly we might get more games added to it. But I could imagine the Xbox Series X could have in full backwards compatibility, and if that's the case, that'd be really good for, you know, fans of Xbox 360, original Xbox, because the list is pretty good. I can quickly go and show you just all of these games. I sorted out my Xbox 360 games, and all of these games here, it's a bit of a mess at the moment because things have been thrown on. But there's two whole stacks of Xbox 360 games there that are backwards compatible on the Xbox One. There's about 700 or so games that are backwards compatible on Xbox One. And that's a fair amount of games, considering the Xbox 360 had about, it had about, I can't remember how many games it had. It had about 1,500 games, I think, give or take. But Xbox One Series X, it's been confirmed. Now, PlayStation 5. One of the biggest letdowns with the PlayStation 5 reveal event, in many people's eyes, was when they talked about the PlayStation 4. And I'm going to be completely honest with you, people really overreacted to this. What they put out, when they first did this reveal event, they did a statement saying the top 100 PlayStation 4 games will be backwards compatible from launch and also boosted. Now, people, as soon as people saw that, automatically people assumed, oh my god, that's all we're gonna have, that's all we're gonna have. You guys, you really need to look into things before you make judgments. Think about this logically. When they said that, this was about launch. The top 100 PlayStation 4 games. Now, I could just imagine games kind of like, some of the Final Fantasy games, Doom, Spider-Man, God of War, Horizon Zero Dawn, Uncharted, those games. Now, when they said these games are going to be available from launch, what they meant was these games have been tested through a boost thing. So, similar to how the Xbox One actually enhances some of these Xbox 360 games and even some original Xbox games with the Xbox One X enhancements. And what that means is these old games have been updated to have 4K graphics, 60 frames per second, all of that good stuff. That's what Sony meant by the top 100 games are going to be available on launch and will be boosted. What that means is these games are going to be fully boosted. All of the upgrades are going to run better, run faster, look better. That's what they meant. However, Sony have also just put out a statement saying that 4,000 PlayStation 4 games are being tested to be backwards compatible. And that's almost, in my opinion, almost the full library of the PlayStation 4. There are so many PlayStation 4 games, it's unbelievable. And what Sony meant was they are going to have two kinds of backwards compatibility. They're going to have boosted games, and they're going to have just the normal PlayStation 4 games. So I just wanted to put this statement out here. Guys, do not worry. PlayStation 5 is going to have backwards compatibility with the PlayStation 4. And a majority of the games, 4,000 games, that's a lot of games. The games that probably won't be boosted will be, the backwards compatible will be the sports games, the really obscure games, some of the hard to find games, stuff like that. I can imagine even digital only games will also be working on PS5. Now, we haven't still been told about PlayStation 1, 2 and 3. I personally don't think that now, I personally don't think Sony are going to dismiss that completely. I reckon we're still going to have a similar thing to what I mentioned in my previous video about this, that they are going to do certain boosted games. That doesn't necessarily mean disc versions. We'll probably get digital store versions of PlayStation 1 games, similar to the PlayStation 3 and the PSP and even the PS Vita having downloadable PlayStation 1 games. And very similar thing with the PlayStation 2. We'll probably get a similar thing where certain digital games have been remastered, I guess you could call them. And we'll probably get maybe a similar thing with PlayStation Now with the PlayStation 3 games. But I just wanted to put that statement out there that the PlayStation 5 is still looking amazing. Now, I personally don't know if I'm going to get both of these systems day one. The Xbox Series X has been confirmed for Thanksgiving. The PlayStation 5, we're looking around about Christmas time, give or take, November, December time. So there is plenty of time for me to save up for this, considering how many things are going on in the world. Who knows? But I just wanted to mention that, you know, don't fret about this, and instead of sitting there complaining about, oh, only 100 games are going to be backwards compatible, and sharing all of these memes and saying, oh, Xbox Series X is much better, just bear in mind that what Sony meant was they're testing certain games to be enhanced. So in other words, if I was to put in God of War, which is going to be in that top 100 PlayStation 4 game, that game is going to run very similar to how a PlayStation 5 game might run, basically. That's what they mean. But we are still going to get a ton of PlayStation 4 games backwards compatible. And to be honest, that's fair enough. I personally don't mind missing out on having PlayStation 3 games, PlayStation 2 games and PlayStation 1 games on the PS5. It would be nice, but let's be realistic about it. PlayStation 2s are dirt cheap anyway. And if you don't have a PlayStation 2 and you want to play PlayStation 2 games, you can pick up PlayStation 2 games dirt cheap. PlayStation 2 consoles are dirt cheap. Even PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 3 consoles are really cheap nowadays anyway. And if you want to have a PlayStation 2 running on the Xbox on a HD TV, just pick up a pound cable or a HDMI converter for your PlayStation 2. I've got to say that I have played my PlayStation 2 on my 4K TV using the pound cable, and it looks pretty good. It runs well and it doesn't really have too much problem. There are better options out there for you. If that's your thing, you can mod and all of this stuff. But just be aware that it is cheap to get a PlayStation 2 running on a 4K or Ultra or HD TV. So it's not a problem. You know, I've always said that if I'm going to play PlayStation 2, I'm going to play it on the PlayStation 2. As nice as it would be to play, you know, PlayStation 2, all of these games available on the PlayStation 5. The whole point of getting a PlayStation 5 is to play PlayStation 5 games. Now, I know on launch we're probably not going to get a lot of games, similar to how with the Nintendo Switch, I didn't get it day one. I waited. Now there's a good 2,000 plus games out on the Nintendo Switch. And I know I don't have a lot, but what I mean is, in my opinion, when a new console comes out, it's not until the second, third year of its life cycle we really get a majority of the games. Look at the PlayStation 4, how many PlayStation 4 games there are. And the fact that Sony have said that 4,000 games are being tested, what that means is these games are probably going to run. So I could put in a game like, I don't know, you know, Yakuza Kiwami, for example, and that will probably run on the PlayStation 5. Will it be enhanced or boosted? Who knows? It might be. What they'll do is they'll do a similar thing to Xbox, and these games will probably be backwards compatible. Maybe not from launch. From launch, we'll probably get the top 100 games, and then what Sony might do is every month maybe roll out a few new games every month. And to be honest, that works fine, because as a collector, that works really well, because if you have a PlayStation 5 and you know that a majority of the PlayStation 4 games are going to work on your PlayStation 5, every month, if they add, say, 15, 20 games every month, and you don't have those games, you can then go out and look for those games and go, you know what, I can play this on my PlayStation 5. So, yeah, I just wanted to mention all of this. So people complain about PlayStation 5, saying that PlayStation 5 isn't going to be backwards compatible. It is. Again, it's early days yet. You know, look at the Xbox One, how long it took the Xbox One to get backwards compatibility. You know, the Xbox One didn't get backwards compatibility for maybe about a couple of years ago. So it is possible, and PlayStation 5 will probably do a similar thing. Same with the Xbox Series X. They probably will include these backwards compatibility things through updates, because that's the joy of the modern generation of consoles. A lot of these new features can be done through updates over Wi-Fi on the internet. So it's not a big problem. I just wanted to mention this. I wanted to let you guys know that this is still a thing that's going to happen. For those of you who are thinking about trading in your PS4 to get a PlayStation 5 and don't want to get rid of your games, you'll still be able to do that if that's your thing. So anyway, guys, I just wanted to do this short video just to share this whole experience with you guys, and let me know what you think. If you enjoyed today's video, feel free to leave a like, and of course comment below. Let me know, do you think the PlayStation 5 backwards compatibility program is going to be better over the years? Is it going to be something like similar to Xbox, or are they just going to really fuck people over? I personally don't think Sony are going to fuck people over. They know that people want this, and they are doing a good job, and I'm glad that Sony did put out the statement saying that the games are actually going to be backwards compatible. We're just working on a separate backwards compatibility program which enhances or boosts, as they call it, our games. And I kind of guessed that when they mentioned the 100 games are going to be boosted. People just sort of assumed and basically put their 2 cents in the situation before actually reading into it and thinking logically. But anyway, guys, of course, feel free to subscribe if you haven't already. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Mixer at The Mad Kiger. I should be streaming again tonight for some more Halo 2 anniversary. Really enjoying it. I will be doing a Halo 2 anniversary review video coming up maybe in the next week. And of course, guys, as always, stay safe and have a nice day, and I will see you in the next video. Take care and bye-bye.